Welcome to Patreon Request. This month, we shall be reviewing the spookiest, scariest movies to ever exist on the planet. And we start off with Open Season 3. Okay, not really a horror film, but I would consider it a horror film in my mind. This is yet another Patreon request from Ryan, who's been having me review every single film in the Sony Pictures Animation filmography. So if you want to be like him, you can go on my Patreon right now. You can support me on there. You'll get exclusive content and blogs, but you also have a chance to ask me to review whatever movie you want, including films like Open Season 3. Okay. You see, I might have gone too far with this little project of mine. The problem is, for every good film I've seen from Sony Animation, I've also gotten an open season film. This is the final in the most unlikely trilogy to ever exist, Open Season 3.
Why open season of all things? Why? The entire concept of the first film doesn't have a treasure trove of more adventures. It was a dumb, derivative tale that left the public conscious quick. Yet, we had 3 sequels. Let's always remember that Ghostbusters and Gremlins never got a third film, but Open Season did. Open Season is a long, tedious watch filled with unfunny jokes, but I gave the second film a slightly better opinion since it wasn't nearly as annoying, and had the benefit of Crispin Glover's wacky voice. I expected a repeat of Open Season 2 when I popped the third one in, and I can't believe this is even possible, but I think this is the worst one. Yes, Open Season 3 is the bottom of the barrel when it comes to the franchise. This is more annoying than the first film. The story almost seems non-existent, the plot is contrived, the morals are barely touched upon, and Crispin Glover comes back, kind of. Besides the smaller parts, he's the only cast member to return because I guess even the Ashton Kutcher and Martin Lawrence replacements wanted to be replaced. For some reason though, there's nothing funny about his character this time around. Instead we have some high-pitched screeching, which doesn't even sound like him. And plus, continuity-wise, it doesn't really make sense that he'd be there anyway. Wow, I'm questioning the plot holes of an open season film. I really need to go back to school.
You stay calm with 500 pounds of animal on your back! My stitches!
So this time around, the movie does that stupid thing kids' movies do where everyone has a love interest that looks identical to themselves, except for Boog. He feels even more left out when his planned guys trip gets declined by all his friends, who are all too busy with married life. This leads to a little fight between Boog and Elliot, which creates the building ground for the moral of the story, which is, sometimes it's okay for your friends to be busy. It doesn't mean they're not your friend. Honestly, that's not a terrible moral. You could actually do something unique with that, you know, if this was a Saturday morning cartoon. But here, they don't really even delve into it. In fact, it ends with Boog telling Elliot sorry, even though it was Elliot who was being the douchebag. You know, Elliot really is up there on the list of most unlikable characters ever.
If he was a real friend, he'd understand.
You're absolutely right. Boog is a real friend. Your life is a mess without him.
And by mess,
Boog in the meantime runs away, hoping to find something else to do with his life, and runs into a circus, meeting another bear who looks similar to him, because that's just a trope in animated threequels apparently. They decide to switch lives just for a day, even though the other bear, named Doug, is even more unlikable than someone like Elliot. While in the circus, Boog meets another girl bear, and a llama who has a lisp and constantly spits. Is there a joke here? I don't even think the writers knew. Doug goes back to the woods disguised as Boog and forces all the friends to do his bidding, while Elliot tries to take care of his kids. Boog gets trapped in the circus and starts to fall in love with the girl bear because this is officially Madagascar 3 now, even though that film came out after, so maybe it was DreamWorks who ripped off this low-budget sequel? And yeah, that's basically what happens for the rest of the film, until Doug returns and Boog is saved by the woodland creatures and the camper dogs, who just happened to be watching TV and saw the Boog lookalike and just assumed he needed to be saved. See what I mean by contrived? But don't worry, the offensive, mentally disabled cat is back. Isn't that great for kids? So many things to learn.
meet that.
With so many annoying characters and a 22-minute TV plotline stretched to a feature-length film, it's hard to deny that this is easily the worst one. The animation is, of course, not really that good again, with the colors becoming especially messy and unwatchable. The resolution is quick and undeveloped because I'm sure that the writer was just put into a pickle. How much can you do with these one-dimensional characters in such a boring environment? They sing On the Road again at the end of the film because, hey, they sang Close to You in the last one, and that was a great idea. These songs relate to the film so much, don't they?
I just want to be done with open season forever. And I know there's another one that was released in 2015, so luckily I won't have to get to that for quite a while, so I can breathe a little. Yeah. Oh, finally getting a little bit of a break. I just don't get why they kept pouring their money into this trilogy of all things. I mean, how many interesting things can you do with animals in the woods? You can't really make a grand story when even the first one wasn't that grand. But with the third one, it seemed like they weren't even trying. I know animators have to work hard, and I'll give them credit that these movies at least give them a chance to work on their own skills. But I think this trilogy is just god-awful, and not even close in comparison to their other work like Surf's Up or Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. But for the time being, I'm done with open season. I can have a nice, fresh, relaxing break from it. And guess what? Next month should be Arthur Christmas. I know it's going to be a month early from Christmas, but you know, it's going to be such a great thing to watch. I hear so many good things about it. I've never actually seen it, so it'll be a fun treat for me. Man, I'm actually really excited to watch that. It's probably going to be good. What was that? Wait. I don't have to do the hybrid live action films, do I? I don't have to do the ones like I don't have to review that, do I? I don't have to review that. I know that would have been released next in the filmography, but that's not part of it, is it? Because that's live action. That's technically live action. I don't have to review that. Why would I have to review that? That's live action. That's not animation. I don't have to review it. I know it's partly animated, but I don't really have to review it, do I? Please don't make me review it. Please don't make me review it. Please don't make me review it. Please don't make me review it.
Alright, ladies, look alive!
Oh, brother.
Thank you for watching the video. A special thanks to Chris, Lucas, and Ryan for supporting me on Patreon. If you'd like to be like them and get exclusive access to content and blogs, and even request reviews monthly, please click on the Patreon link, and thanks for your support.
No! No!